Hello, welcome back to my channel, Theater from My View. I am Amanda Washington, and today I am here with an amazing actor, director, all-around artist, Robinson J. Cyprian. That's the professional name. I call him RJ on the low. And today we're going to be talking about him as an artist, where he sees theater going, and just how he shows up in theater as an artist. But before we get into it, a few things. 1, I post a new video every Friday at noon. So 2, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, because 3, next Friday's coming quick, fast, and boom, in a hurry. And
Let's get it.
You don't want to miss it. Are you ready?
Who, me? Let's do it. Let's do it. She was dope. She was hitting it. She was hitting it. Let's get it.
Oh my gosh. So RJ, thank you for coming on the channel. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Oh, Madam Director, don't say gracing me with your presence. You're gracing me with your presence. Thank you. Thank you. You're just radiating all that great and positive energy. I love it.
I'm pretty sure it's the light you see radiating. Thank you. All right. So tell me, how did you get your roots in theater? Like, tell me the growing story.
Ooh, that's simple. That's simple. So my parents were actually theater practitioners. My mom, they actually met on the stage. So they met during a production of As You Like It, which actually coincidentally ended up being my first ever show at USM. I was a stage crew person, so that was the first time I ever did a show. So it was interesting that they met. But they had a love for theater. Literally, my mom had me, and then I was in the carrier while she was back on stage. So my mom was always performing, and my dad still acts and does like little extra work here and there. So that was my roots of theater. And I guess the growing up story of it, of becoming a theater person, it actually started in high school. I won't even say high school, it was middle school. I was a production of Santa, the Littlest Reindeer was what it was called. Yeah, I was Santa, and I tore the house down because your boy, they had to put a pillow under my shirt to give me the big stuff. And like at the end of this show, there was like this song called Up, Up and Away. And you know, middle school, they just sing, they're just standing there like, up, up and away. And then like me, as soon as it starts, I like wait till like the second part, and I just started like doing the Carlton and going crazy and dancing, and it was a big hit. Everyone loved it. Anyway, first real production though was in high school, and I really wasn't into acting stuff. I didn't even know what I was going to do really with it all. And one day I'm in my theater class, because I took theater. I was like, I'm gonna take theater in high school because, you know, parents around the theater, been around it my entire life. You know, I grew up in Jersey. And my mom worked at NJPAC, so we, the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. So we used to go to a lot of performances, and I used to go to Broadway when we were younger. That's a fun tidbit. I go on tangents, y'all. I'm sorry, but that's a fun tidbit because, like, speaking of Broadway, my mom talks about when we used to see Beauty and the Beast. We were on do they call it the mezzanine, like the balcony seats or whatever?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and so when we were seeing Beauty and the Beast, whenever the Beast, I would stand up and I was like looking over the banister or whatever. And whenever the Beast would come to my side of the stage, I would like run off and step away. And then I would come back when he would walk away. Like, so I just grew up in theater. Theater was always around me. And going back to what I was saying, I was in my theater class in high school, and I was singing Frank Ocean, Thinking About You. It was a hot song. I was bored. You know what I mean? Class was kind of just going singing. And this little girl named Ashley Burke just runs up to me. And she's like, hey, you have a really good voice. We need somebody in the theater production of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Will you be down to do it? And I was like, what? And the theater teacher, Miss Alicia Hughes, she was like, yeah, if you're interested, you can come to the choir and we'll see if you can handle the work, right? The vocal stuff. And went there after school, auditioned, and then after that they were like, yeah, we can work with you. And the bug bit me. The bug bit me, because immediately after that I was in every production. at my high school after that, and that includes Grease, Raisin in the Sun. I was Shrek and Shrek the Musical. Boys Next Door, just so many different plays, and I really that is the starting point for me. You know, the Littlest Reindeer stuff is just like joke stuff, but that to me was the starting point, because that's when I was like, nah, this theater thing is awesome. I like it. I like what I can do. And it was also that people were telling me things like, they're like, dude, you're really good at this. Like, oh wow, you're really good at this. And it also, shout out to Salisa Hugh. That is my mama. That woman established so much of my love for theater and taught me so much that, like, you know, getting into college, people was like, oh, you went to MSA, you know, like they're like, you went to the Mississippi School of Arts, because of just how much I knew with theater. So it was awesome. It was awesome.
I love it. Okay, so your parents were in theater. Then like it kind of got like ingrained into your blood then that way.
I guess so.
So I guess, does that in any way like affect your process with how much you love it? Like, you know, you give a shout out to your mom because she's taught you so much about it. How does your process go as an actor? Because just as a director and having worked with you on, like, we've done 2 shows together.
Yes, we have. Gem of the Ocean and Blues for an Alabama Sky.
Yes, and those 2 shows, I can honestly say, I may not have understood everything, but I could always say I respected your process and the way you went about going to find your character. I may not have understood every step you took, hence why I'm asking you to break it down for me. But at the end of the day, I was a happy director.
I think it's a couple of things. It's an amalgamation of a lot of different things. I would say, for one, it's personally, and this is not something I think everyone does, but personally, I believe it's a relationship between the actor and the director. And I want to create, in like speaking of from our experience, I want to create your vision, but I also want to create my vision as well. And I think the best way to create those simultaneously is to search for the truth, and not a universal truth, your truth. You know, I think, you know, you fight for what you want, and I guess my process as an actor is I start with, it depends. It's actually funny. I start with how do I want to work this character? Do I want to work this character from the outside in, or do I want to work from the inside out? If anyone is a little confused, I guess I would say, do I want to start from working the inner part of my character, his emotions, the way he reacts, the way he thinks, or do I want to work on the physicality and then work in how that affects my emotion? And I think you've seen both sides of those, you know, and I think that's why you're a little confused, because I think with Sam Thomas in Blues for an Alabama Sky, he is an inside out. You know, I think the love and focus that he radiates from himself exudes into his personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I think someone like Solly Two Kings and Jim of the Ocean, the wear and tear of holding his people on his back is what affects his character. So that, you know what I mean? Like, I remember early on in our process for Jim, I would be like, I need a stick now, because this is him. Like, I can't start to I can't discover anything with this character until I have how he moves, because, you know, that's his truth, because he holds not just his people, but the entire, you know, the Black race. He holds that, and he feels that, you know, he feels that weight. And I think, like, that's my process as an actor, is just trying to find those truths and working with the director and saying, hey, I'm going in this direction, but I feel like you want us to go in this direction. Like, where can we find a middle ground? And, you know, I think it's tough. It's about being flexible, because you got to work with a lot of different directors. And I think that as an actor, that's where my process begins. I like to work with directors I can talk to. And I like to work with directors who are giving me the freedom to work and find something new, but they're also kind of like reining us into a direction towards a unified vision, if that makes sense.
It does. It's kind of like, okay, go play on the playground. And then the teacher starts to push you towards one side of the playground and you don't even realize it until.
Exactly.
I get that. So, okay. So the form of open communication and being able to discuss your vision, and then also with the director, but then also working either from the inside out or outside in. Is that similar to your process as a director?
See, and I think as a director, it just flips.
Oh, okay.
As a director, I am a person of images and pictures. I see a lot of like I just did a show, The Pillow Man, and we had a nice review by this man, and he by this company called Ambush Magazine, not even a company, a magazine, Ambush Magazine, and they gave us a really stunning review. It was awesome. If you ever get the chance, read it, look it up. We were in their year review. We was in that too. So, but no, it was fun because I see pictures when I direct. I see moments that captivate the audience. I want the audience to be able to see things and go, man, that image was really, really nice, And then I guess because I'm an actor who I would say I'm 60-40 right now, and 40% being a director, 60% being the actor. And I think because I act so much, my directing style is I have a vision, and I want us to get there. But how we get there, I really don't care, because that's your job. That's not my job, and I'll tell you if I want something different. I'll tell you if hey, let's fix this. Let's make this look clean. Let's make this look nice. But at the same token, I'm also like, get there, have fun. That's not my job. And I also, that's how I stop myself as a director from telling them what to do, the actor in me. Cause I'm like, no. If I start telling you what I envision, then I'm just going to end up telling you specifically what to do, because that's the actor in me. So if I just say, hey, get there, but I don't, let's see how you get there. I want to see where your character lies with the tactics. What are they going to do? How are they going to achieve their goal?
That kind of sounds a lot like when I tell y'all to follow the spirit.
Yeah, and I guess it is, because it is following the spirit. It's following, and I guess that's a big thing for me as a person, follow those instincts, usually that first instinct is the best instinct, but you can find something that's deeper, and let's find something deeper and unravel the onion more, there's multiple layers, and directing is, I'm still figuring out my footing as a director, we've had a class together. You've seen some of the things I've directed, and I think as a director, I try to keep it very minimal for me. I don't want it to seem like this is directed. And I get that compliment a lot from people where they go, this feels very natural. It felt very normal. I didn't feel like I was watching a show. And that's what I like. I like that feeling of I'm not watching something, I'm experiencing it, because that's what theater is at the end of the day.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I was gonna, before you I think you said it, you didn't say the exact word, but you said something similar. I was about to say, so you're more so of a visionary, and in the sense, because you like images, and images, they're real and tangible.
Yes.
In certain cases. And not that words aren't real and tangible, but with images, you can get a better, clearer picture of the world and just how they were living. And that sounds a lot like how you like to direct, of just these are just people living on stage and we just happen to be glancing in. It doesn't seem like move left, right, now, go.
And I think that it is that, right? What makes a show of theater fantastic or fantastical, it's that this is a piece of somebody's life that we are seeing something, I don't want to say catastrophic, but that's what it is. It is that level. It is a catastrophic, life-changing moment. This is someone's defining moment that we are watching and experiencing. And, that's the truth that I try to search for. You know,
Mhm.
like I said, I just did Pillow Man, and it was something interesting in that article that I was talking about from Ambush that he spoke of. And I actually spoke to the guy after he saw the show, and he was saying a lot of people take this show very intellectually. I don't know if you know of Pillow Man by Martin McDonough. It's about a writer in a totalitarian state is taken in by his government because of his writings that closely relate to these murders, these child murders that are happening in his town. But he was like, a lot of people tend to take the intellectual side of this, and y'all really found a nice heart and love in this. And I thought that was very telling, because I was like, that's the point, right? Like, I see he tells the dude, he writes a lot of short stories, so he tells a lot of these beautiful stories. And I was like, there's a lot of love in these stories. It's messed up, they're screwed up stories, but there's a lot of love, and I think we can find that love. And I think that's what I like, you know, full circle to me is always finding that truth. You know, what can I do to help the audience understand my vision, like you said, a visionary? Or and I think that's what's interesting about my directing style, is that I find these images and I build towards those images. And then once we get to those images, I'm like, ooh, yeah, that sits nice with me, you know. Like that sits nice with me. And then I used to not, younger me used to hate it. I used to love doing things singular, but I'm also, when it comes to directing and even with acting, these both go hand in hand. I love the collaboration process. I love talking and you and I tossing ideas off of each other. You know, I always found that interesting in your directing process. You would have times where you would talk to each actor separately and see where they're at. But with me, you never really talk to me, because you're just like, RJ's in his own world and he got it. He got it. Just let him do it and he gonna go.
I think we had 2 chats, and then after that, I was like, yeah, he's good. And when I say 2 chat, 1 chat for 1 show each.
and that's something that I am very proud of myself as an actor, and especially of going to USM and each show being able to stack different levels to them. I think you were able to get some of the best versions of me as an actor, because at that point I used to be only for my voice, I feel like was what people really were in love with. But I think towards the end of my collegiate career, and even now as an actor, my body and voice were fully integrated, you know, especially for shows like Sam Thomas, and especially for something like Solly Two Kings. The body and the voice were so integrated that people were like, you know, wow, he looks old, you know, he moves old, like he's you know. Or Sam's suaveness and how he was just such a
debonair.
He can captivate the room as quick as he wanted, you know. And he was also, I thought that was a really fun thing about Sam was able to back off, which I thought was interesting to do as an actor. Like, he can come and take the room, but he was also very nice at just like,
sitting in the corner.
Yeah, like, okay, this is it.
I'll never forget High Tea and how you didn't really have a part in High Tea, but the amount of looks you were giving everyone else in the scene, but also in the audience. And High Tea comes from Blues for an Alabama Sky. And it's a scene of what, 4 or 5 people? And RJ did
the whole cast. Whole cast.
Yeah. Oh, wow, y'all were all...
Yeah, that's the only time. I think that's the only time the entire cast is on in the stage. That's an interesting conversation. That's something we'll have to talk about on time, because I think Mama Pearl that was an interesting thing Mama Pearl did. I think that's interesting that's the one time that everyone's on stage, and then that one time it just explodes. Like,
it's like it was 2 worlds colliding. Actually, it was in 3. It was Angel's world, Leland's world, and then everybody else.
Yeah, because they all live in 3 different types of movie. I love that show. Show.
I still think about it often.
I think about Jim a lot, and it's because I think about just the character work that went into that. I think about that a lot. You know, you speak about the acting and directing from me, and I think that's something that's interesting. In that show, that was an interesting mix of like, it was very, we were speaking of collaboration just a second ago, and I think that's what was really interesting about that show, was there was a lot of collaboration. I think some of my favorite rehearsals and times was just Solly, Caesar, and Eli. Just those three those relationships between those characters was just always so fun to peel back, you know. I mean, me and Italian Dixon, the guy who played Eli, like me and him, we're very close. And so speaking of that, we're gonna talk about that later. Speaking of me and his closeness, we got some stuff later. But but no, me and Italian, we really in that process like, that's what I loved about it. We would ask each other questions about Eli, or like he would ask me questions as Eli, and I would ask him questions as Solly, just to see if we were on the same page, or if there was something different in the way that our upbringings, you know, because we were so close and we were like brothers, you know. And then not talking to Caesar, David Neely, or not talking to David and not really getting close with him really set that animosity between me and him. Because like, I never asked David questions about his character. I didn't ask anything. There was certain things that I asked, like, why are we beefing? Cool, that's all I need to know, because I know a reason. I know why I don't like you. You know why we beefing. And once it was like that, I was like, okay, yeah, don't talk to me. Yeah. Don't talk to me. I'm good.
That show is so layered. Like you can't help but have a collaboration, because if you as a director are the only one saying, yeah, I know what the vision is, you have sorely mistaken what August Wilson has written.
I think that's what acting is, though. That's what theater is. It has to be a collaboration. It is the mix of all those different elements to make something so magnificent, so mind-bending. And I think, speaking, like, I know we keep talking about these old shows. I know, sorry, we're reminiscing, y'all. But but no, I think the thing about that show was it was so mystical, and we found the magic in it, you know. And I think that was like, there's things I wish I could see, you know, but I couldn't have seen because I was on stage, you know. Like I never saw it, but I can only imagine what it looks like, you know. Was when Citizen Sheldon, he was on the channel. Sheldon, my boy, I love you, baby. When Citizen is on the ground and he's screaming for water and he starts to sing, you know, you implemented like the song part, and I'm like, I cannot see you, because we had to look upstage of him, you know, and I could not see him. And I was like, I can only imagine. Like, it was just this hurt that I couldn't feel. And I was just like, I wish I could see this from the audience's point of view. You know, there's a lot of times I envy the audience. I envy them.
Yes.
Because they get to see some cool, I can't curse. I get to see some cool stuff, man. They get to see some cool stuff. And I get jealous. Because I'm like, man, yeah, I'm doing it, but dang, y'all get to see it. Oh, I bet we look so cool right now. Like,
oh my God. Look, it was definitely interesting. I will say that. I was sitting next to my mom one performance, and she was like, is this real? Why are we here like this? What are we doing?
You know, I think I've done a lot of shows where audiences feel transported like that. And I think I try to do that with my work as well, is to transport the audience. And I think that part, like, I like that when I go in the theater. You know, I like, now that I've gotten so well versed in theater, I want to say, you know, not trying to, you know, sound all ooh, but just because I got well versed in theater, it sucks because when I go see performances, sometimes I start to look at technical aspects. I'm like, ooh, how did they do that? Oh, look at them pulling that in right there. Ooh, okay, fly system, I see you. Okay, nice lights. Oh, what's that? is that a gobo pattern that wow, like I'm just like, wow, I like that. Like like I have seen The Lion King like twice on Broadway, and I think maybe once on tour. And my mom cries every time. My mother cries every time she sees the elephant walk down the aisle in The Lion King in the beginning with the circle of life, because that's dope to her. And I love the show. I love Lion King. I love it. First time, fully immersed. Second time, immersed, but was like looking at stuff. Third time, I was just looking at actors just bringing stuff in. like favorite thing in Lion King is I don't know if you've ever seen the show. Have you ever seen Lion King live? Of course you have. Of course you have. Who hasn't? When they build Mufasa's face, the sky.
Boom.
That's when I was like, this is it. This is the theater. This is it. I was like, when they built Mufasa's face in the sky, and it was just like, and they do it in the dark, and then they throw the stars on it. Oh, bro. Oh, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I told y'all tangents. This is me.
But it kind of leads into my next question, because we just talked about a couple of shows. So one, do you have like a show you want to direct right now, or a role you want to act in right now?
So I guess this is the best time to talk about it. Pillow Man was the first ever show that me and my friend from high school, Ben C. Doherty, Ben, love you, shout outs. But Ben is my best friend from high school. We have done multiple shows in high school together, and he went to the Playhouse in New York, Meisner, and yeah. And I, Southern Miss, of course. And once we came back to home, Louisiana, we just produced and I directed, and he was one of the stars in the show of The Pillow Man. And so now, in lieu of us doing a really nice show during a pandemic, we are starting a production company, and our name is Robin Hood. Yes, Robin Hood. Robin Hood Productions. So having a little production company building up, and our second show that we're trying to do for our first ever official Robin Hood show is about to be Top Dog Underdog. We're gonna do that, and me and D'Italian are gonna do it again. Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
So are you gonna direct again?
No, I'm gonna act in this one. I'm gonna act in this. Yeah. Top Dog has been a show that I have done. Like, I auditioned for using the show, the ending monologue. I don't know if you read it. I feel like you read it. Susan Lori Park.
I read some of it. I think it was Taylor Haynes who gave me his script, and I read half of it.
Hey, it's Taylor Haynes, my dog too. That's my Pisces, bro. Yeah, I think he's like March, I want to say like 6 or something like that, I want to say. Yeah, and Top Dog is like a passion piece for me, and I was really toying on whether or not I wanted to direct or act in it, and I was convinced by a lot of people to just act. D'Italian actually said that. He was like, man, acting with you was one of the best experiences I had. It was like Shaq and Kobe, so we should do it again. And I was like,
wait, was Jim of the Ocean the first time you two were together as actor and actor?
No, but Jim was the first time that we actually acted together, where we were talking and we had relationship to build. We were in the Crucible together when I was John Proctor, and he was like one of the like cops. So there was a lot of times where that was just a lot of like physicality between us, and we would like make stuff up between us. But this Jim of the Ocean was something that was like, no, this is a relationship, build it. This is Eli and Sally or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that was one of my favorite things, was that people would come up to us after the show and be like, yo, y'all's friendship and like the way y'all were on stage was just so awesome. Like, I loved watching y'all on stage. I was like, that's great, because we put the work into that, and we were happy that people saw that,
Yeah, for sure.
But all that to say, we're doing Top Dog Underdog, Robin Hood Productions. My boy Ben is going to direct it, but it's going to be a big collaboration. It really is, because something with Top Dog Underdog, 2 people, Lincoln and Booth, it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope to see what we can find.
When is
Yeah.
that? Do you know? Okay, I know things are like probably up in the air, but do you know like kind of the time range, or do you actually know when it's gonna go up?
We're trying to shoot for sometime like in April, or April being the rehearsal process, and May being the time that we put it up. So, and we usually do live perform. We're doing live performances. We usually have the audience separated with mask and everything like that. But I think you fun segue, I guess. You're talking about the future of theater, and
Yeah.
I I I see theater going virtual now, and fine. That's totally fine because technology needs to be implemented into theater. I think there's a lot of times where we as practitioners are afraid of going into the future or using things that may seem like non-traditional when
Yeah.
it comes to theater performances. And I think no, technology is at a place where everything is advanced. Why don't we advance it? There's things we can do now that could change people's minds. I like when plays start to utilize projections and utilize things that you may not see in a theater space, because like uh that's what theater should do.
Yeah.
That's how we get that's how we stay relevant. And I mean, theater is always going to be relevant because you always need someone to comment on the foolishness of everything.
Mhm.
But no, like I I like where theater is going with the virtual, but I also don't want us to forget our roots.
Mm,
Don't forget that the point of theater is not a screen, because then this is just film. you
yeah,
know
it is.
the point of theater is what does Lou say?
The
It's
shared the space between two.
the yeah, it's the it's how what makes dialogue, right? It's the heap, and then
The action
what
and
is it?
heat and react.
Yeah, the heap and the reaction. It's deeper than that, but I don't know how to really explain it, but I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know
but
what you're saying too.
um, but it's also the connection between the audience. I think some of the best shows are when the audience is so intently in it.
Mhm.
And I think that's what we as actors love, right? We love nights when the audience is just overreacting to everything. We love nights when they're just really silent, but we know that their focus is on us. And I'm like, that's what theater is. It's that give and take, that balance between, hey, we're on stage giving you, like I said earlier, truth. We're
Mhm.
That's what I love about theater. It's always truthful. And that's what makes good art, is when you see something truthful and you see these characters going through something that relates to you in an entirely different sense. Like, is it like that's crazy to me when you can relate to something that has nothing to do with your experience right now, but it has everything to do with it. It's a
Mhm.
weird paradox. It's a weird paradox, but theater lives in that paradox.
It's like inner humanity. Like you didn't know that you had this
Yeah.
layer that you had to expose yourself.
Yeah. And I think that as an artist is what I love, is people being able to come up to me after a show and say, your portrayal of this character spoke to me. You know, how you felt and how you reacted and what you went through, that's me. And
Mm.
how you captured, I've had people say how you've captured me. I don't know how you did it, but thank you. You know, because it teaches. I think that's what it is. Theater teaches. It unlocks different sides of myself. I think it unlocks different sides of so many different people, of everyone, not different people, just of everybody, because it is this inner humanity. It touches the soul. In the words of one of a cool director I've had at USM, the soul got to eat too. You know,
Who said that?
yeah, soul got to eat too. Burton Tedesco.
Oh,
Yeah, Burton.
I
You
never
can't
knew
take it
what
with
the
you.
in.
Yeah, Burton's a cool guy. Cool guy. His mind theater is interesting. And I think that's what I love. I love, theater from my view, right? You get to see people's perspective of how they view the world that we live in with it, how they want to take their sword into battle.
So thank you for my slogan. Love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When he said that, I said, "Oh, the soul gotta eat too." Like that's something that not a lot of people think about. We think about our physicality and our mental, but we don't think about that there's something burning inside of us. There is an energy that connects us to so many different things, not just to each other, but to colors, to sound, to music, to nature. Like, I know that's just some like hippie way of thinking, but it really connects us to a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm so here for it. Okay.
Spirit.
All day.
Yo, look, hey, I got stuff. I just be talking tangents. I told y'all.
We can have a part 2, especially when Top Dog Underdog comes out. Would love to have you back.
Oh, yes.
But okay, where can we find you on social media? Where can we go, like, look up your stuff so we can go get our tickets for Top Dog Underdog and stuff like that?
So Robin Hood Productions does have a website. Robin Hood, ROBEN. It's supposed to be like Robin, because Robinson. Yeah, RobinHoodProductions.com. The website is up. You can join our mailing list. We'll always just tell you what's up there. Me on social media, it's RJ Cyprian on Facebook. It's nothing special. You know what I mean? I don't really do the professional. I don't know how to make a professional account. I just feel like either you're gonna like me or you're not. You're gonna, I mean, I'm an impress anyway. That's how I feel. I'm an impress anyway. But if you don't, I don't care. You're gonna either like me or you won't. But RJ Cyprian on Facebook, salutations_RJ on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat, whatever you want to find me on. Robin Hood Productions does not have an Instagram yet, but it's coming. It's a Pillowman Instagram. If you want to go look at our old Pillowman pictures, _Pillowman, another underscore. If you want to look us up on there to see some of our picture and see some of the work that we just did. But yeah, when Top Dog comes out, just join our mailing list and we'll tell you when you can get your tickets, where to get your tickets. Also, going to be doing some things with a theater company in Chicago ran by my boy Corey Bradbury, Theater in the Dark. We're going to do some things. There's some stuff in the works there, so be on the lookout for that. Your boy is going to probably be doing some stuff with him again. I just did a War of the Worlds with him, and so
sure, I listened to it. It was so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, you might have heard me. I don't know. I was probably I was a swing in that show, so I kind of came in on some nights and came in on other nights. But definitely be on the lookout for Theater in the Dark. Some stuff from them too. So Underdog, Robin Hood is taking off this year. Gonna do some stuff with Theater in the Dark. I'm gonna be linking in Top Dog Underdog, so I'm gonna act in that. So yeah, man, I'm having fun with this theater stuff. I'm trying to show my purpose. My purpose.
Show your purpose.
That's what it is.
Making your own purpose.
Exactly. Carving out my own fate.
Mm-hmm. So here for it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Wishing you the best of luck. But like we said right before school shut down, almost a year ago, we'll be working together again. So I'm not even worried about seeing you.
You already know. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you need me, I drive to Atlanta. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? You need me in Georgia, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? I do this acting stuff for sometimes. I do accents sometimes. I got a little something in the bag. You feel me?
I'm dead, bro. I'm dead. I can't handle it. But we gotta end this.
Okay, I'm out of here. Peace.
Bye.